Alright, another Q&A part for you guys. I ended up getting way more questions than I expected, and so I've been breaking this up into the 10-minute portions, and we're just going to keep chugging right along here. Chris Susan LaCour, what are some of the basic principles for peaking for a raw powerlifting meet? I will start off with a disclaimer that I am still figuring this out for myself. There have only been a few meets in the last couple of years where I feel like I was adequately peaked for them, and I brought my absolute best to the platform. And one of those I ran a 6-week Shako program, and one of those I ran a 13-week Smolov program for. I think what it comes down to is you just have to be comfortable with the weights you pick. You have to go from a place where you're training the lifts and comfortable with them and getting enough work in and getting used to the frequency that when you hit the meet you're not absolutely blown out. It is a really fine line. A lot of people peak differently. I tend to work out the week of a meet. I will hit heavy numbers all the way up until 7 days out, and then I will take a day or two off, and then I will do some light, relatively light work, the week of, just so I keep greasing the groove because I'm so used to frequency. And so if cutting weight is an issue for you, that throws everything off too. I wish I had a better answer for this, but it really just comes down to you have to try some different things, do a couple of meets without knowing all the perfect answers, and learn more about yourself until you can adjust to it. Basically, I would suggest if you're a novice, don't try cutting into a meet, try growing into a meet so that you don't have to worry about that. That's one less thing to worry about. Pick your openers conservatively unless you're going for a specific number. In that case, you kind of have to go somewhere that's reachable. You don't want to take 300-pound jumps once you're on the platform unless you're into that kind of thing. But I don't really have a great answer for that because I'm still working on it myself. Jesse Rasmussen, best tips to help beginning squats and deadlifts: reps, sets, effort, percent range, etc. Off topic, you deserve... Oh, thanks, Jesse. He's saying I'm a nice guy that deserves more publicity. For beginning squats and deadlifts, honestly, I was helping a friend today. He's never squatted before, and I told him that I want you to learn how to do these before you start worrying about loading at all. We started him with a bar, and I said, do this and try to hit 40 to 50 reps, a day with just a bar until you feel comfortable enough to start adding weight, and then you start going. I feel like when someone really is starting to learn a motor pattern, it's important to learn the motor pattern. In Olympic lifting overseas, they'll have you practice with a broomstick for weeks before you start doing those things. When you have the motor pattern down, you can start adding loading, and I think that you don't want to go when you're starting out less than 5 reps, and if you get above 12, your form's going to start to break down from fatigue, and so I'd keep it between that range, which is a little big. But if you're just starting out, you don't really have a percentage range to work from anyway, and so build your base slowly, be patient, and when you start getting to where your numbers are becoming calculable, then you go from there into different things. And again, when you're beginning, you have so much time to put in that there is no guaranteed way that everything's going to work for you. And so if you want a program, hop on a program like a 5-3-1 or something that is simple and can, and is linear progression, because you want to ride those linear gains as long as you can, because once you've been doing it for 8, 9, 10 years, all your progress starts to really slow down. You have to fight tooth and nail to get an extra 5 pounds on every lift, and so utilize that time to go just slow and linearly but consistently as you can. Neil Malcolm, anything regarding mobility, especially hip and ankle would be nice to hear about. Again, I do have my recovery video where I show a little bit of this, and judging by all the questions that I've been getting about mobility, I might need to do another video that kind of shows some of the mobility work that I do. Generally, my advice for this is to learn a little bit more about your own anatomy and your physiology, and what each function of the different muscle groups, what inserts to wear. Just do a little bit of research, because when you find out what the properties and the function of a certain muscle group is, and the different joints and different locations of those insertion points, you can find the best ways to work it through that motion that would best stretch and improve your mobility through that. Also, Kelly Starrett has the mobility WOD videos. If you have anything specific, if you learn what, if you do a little bit of research and find out what the name of whatever is hurting on you is called, type it into mobility WOD, and I'm sure he's made 10 videos to help you fix it. So that's my advice there. Jeff Seath, can I wash my winky in your kitchen sinky? Well, Jeff, we have a garbage disposal, so I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, you're always welcome if you want to brave that. Yeah. Your actual question. What's some bread and butter movements to build your deadlift? Deadlifting is my best one that I could offer to people. Deficit stiff leg deads have always been really great for mine, and as well as honestly low box squatting. I used to do that a little bit to develop some hip pop from the bottom. I would just take a weight and go down. It wasn't like a normal I'd say west side style box squat. I would sit down on the box and then pop up from it and just work on that kind of thing. But I still say that for me the best deadlifting building movement is a deadlift from the floor. You work your technique, you work building your strength, your grip, and all the different muscle groups. I mean, why break it apart and focus on other things when you can just focus on the movement itself? Unless you have a specific weakness, in which case you would focus on building that weakness until it fits into the hole and go back to practicing the hole. That's just my philosophy on it. Jason Wesley, perseverance and always finding a positive ideas when doubt creeps in. Your mindset is a choice. That's something I learned a while ago, and it's something that I have to keep reminding myself. If you're in a bad mood, you can choose to not be in a bad mood. If things are going poorly, you can accept that circumstance and move forward from it. But one thing that will never improve a circumstance is sulking about it and being sad and poor me. You're never going to see yourself move up in the world in that kind of a setting. And so when you want to persevere over something bad enough, you'll find a way to do it. When something matters enough to you to overcome it, you will find the strength somewhere within yourself. And it just is a choice. And it's a choice that sometimes is harder to make and sometimes requires a lot more of you than you are necessarily wanting to put in. But that's what it comes down to. It's always a choice. It's always your choice, and you're the only one who can do anything about it. And so you have to empower yourself to do that. Rich Lacella, how did you enjoy Shako? Do you think it would be possible to combine Shako with the Cohen deadlift cycle by just replacing the Wednesday pull day and continuing to squat 2 times a week and bench 3 times a week? Well, currently I'm squatting 3 days a week and doing the Cohen program once a week and benching 3 times a week. So I would say, is it possible to combine them? I guess so. But generally both are considered kind of peaking cycles. I tend to run Shako style lifting all year round, where I'm benching and squatting and deadlifting in the same days. But I don't know. The Cohen deadlift program is pretty hard on your body, and if you're not adequately reducing your volume and your loading in the other workouts that you're doing, it may lead to a point where you're breaking your body down faster than you recover. If your recovery is on point and you are able to do it, then I don't see why not, but it takes a lot out of you, especially if you're not using something to assist in that recovery. And so it really comes down to, I say tread lightly if you're going to try it, and just be careful, pay a lot of attention to your body. Shako was not meant to be run with other programs in the middle of it, and so I can't really come across as hypocritical or officially, because I generally alter the programs a lot myself just for things that I do with my training, but I can't tell you that it will work or it won't work. I have no idea. You'd have to try it yourself, and so just be careful and pay attention to that. I am going to cut this one off here and keep on rolling forward. I'm loving these questions. This is a lot of fun, actually. I don't really get to talk about this and uninterrupted in any kind of situation, so yay for Q&A videos. We might end up doing these a lot more. I will see you soon. Bye.